that by the time all these things are put into play, along what we call the agricultural value chain, we would have been reducing the cost. I'll give you an example. Iya Mojidi plants gure or efotete in her Alabata village in Akiyele local government. Produces maybe 1 acre or 2 acres. Gets her stuff. She was only able to sell half of it. The other half gets rotten. She will transfer
the cost of the loss
to this one.
Yeah.
So you end up buying this at double the price. But by the time there is an efficient and effective way, exactly, of evacuating it, it comes. So I just use that as a small example of what is going to happen to large scale production, and that's where I'm going. It's a long journey, but we have to start somewhere. At the end of the story is okay, we are increasing. What would that give you? We'll be doubling production almost every year because we are collaborating with Lagos State government in production of rice. We have just concluded the first phase of 500 tons, which was very successful. They are bringing a rice mill of 20,000
capacity.
Yeah, per day to Oyo State. After that, only last week, we've concluded arrangement. We met with them in Lagos to expand from 500 pilot project today to 3,000 hectares. That's what we are doing this season.
3,000
to 3,000 hectares for rice. And our ambition is to go for as much as 20,000 hectares ultimately. We've signed an agreement with the Lagos State government as well for the production of rice. They require 13,000 hectares. We are giving them 15,000 hectares of land. So we have such a and they too are going to produce rice for their own rice mill. Finally, we are talking to Boa. That's what's his name? Isiaku Rabiu.
Okay.
And co. We had a meeting with them last week too. They too want to go into rice production. We've held meetings because we now need people who will offtake this huge production that we are making. And as a result of that, we've held meetings with some of these major consumers of, or I will say, the consumers of the end products.
Okay.
Of like cassava, they use cassava flour. Thank you. We've held meetings with breweries, Nigerian breweries. They've given us an idea of their needs, which is huge. We've held meetings with Nestle at the managing director level, the team from Oyo State, headed by me. They too have expressed their willingness. We've held meetings with a company called Olam. They are major commodity traders in the world. The same thing with flour mills of Nigeria, and we are hoping that we'll meet with Guinness. Men, they are all not interested, they are competing to get this. We led us in collaboration with IIT to now decide, because we found out that there is a gap between those end users and our farmers. There is a gap of middle level processing that will process raw cassava into either ethanol or cassava flour or cassava starch, which will serve as raw materials for those people. That gap is very much there. And we need Nigerian entrepreneurs to come in to that. And these companies are even willing to support such small companies with finance, with technical know-how, to introduce them to even the producers of the equipment they will use so that they can meet their own standard. We have all that, so we decided the best way to do it is to organize an Oyo State Agricultural Investment Summit, which we are hoping will come up in the middle of June. It won't be in Ibadan. It will be in Lagos, simply because we are taking it to them, the people who will use it. If you put it in Ibadan, the MD of Nigerian breweries will not come. He will send his junior manager. The MD of Guinness will not come. And exactly. But if you take it to them in Lagos, he can spare 2 hours from his office, quickly rush down there, participate, and go back. We fixed the date, and we are also working on this with IITA, British American Tobacco. By the time we brought it out, they were even ready to sponsor out of it. So it's going to, the cost to Oyo State will be next to nothing. So that is in summary our vision and our dream that we are working at, and we are praying to God to let it work out.
So I think we can ask for more. Certainly, I want to thank the Honorable Commissioner on behalf of the crew of the Media Directorate for taking us for what we have, because honestly we have to agree, we have to confess, we bumped.
Sure, you have something. Yes. Access mobility program. In fact, rural access and agricultural marketing project. Initially started as RAMP, Rural Access and Mobility Program. But later, it was expanded, and I will explain it to you. Initially, the purpose of RAMP was a 2.5 billion naira program, where the World Bank was going to provide 2 billion for the state, and Oyo State will provide 500 million as counterpart for 20%. Oyo State, since last year, has provided the counterpart for, such that by the time the World Bank picked the number of states that they wanted, there were only 13 states that were qualified. I think just 2 in the southwest. I think Osun. Then they moved to the next stage of preparation and documentation and everything. Out of which today only 3 or 4 states have qualified. Oyo State is number 1.
Wow.
Oyo State is number 1. And by the time they picked Oyo State, we have concluded everything. In fact, we've awarded the contract for the first road that we are supposed to showcase. His Excellency is supposed to officially declare it open, and then they will open it up. And the idea is to construct at least 50 kilometers of rural road in every of our 33 local governments.
Wonderful.
50. Minimum of 50 kilometers. That was under the original. That was under the original RAM. This is fresh. You can see the paper with me. So I have it in my head. Under the original RAM. By the time we were qualified, they were impressed, and they expanded it. And now changed it from rural access and mobility RAM to rural access and agricultural marketing project. So RAMP now has AMAG. RAMP.
Okay.
This is the paper on it.
Rural access.
Yes. And they decided, based on what they've seen, it's not enough to just do the road to those villages for the farmers to carry their things, crops to the market. That they need to do more. I must quickly say this, that we've done everything. They've been here, they've gone to every village where that road will go. You know how World Bank works. They've held town hall meetings with the chiefs. They want to be sure that their money, so we've done
going directly to where it is projected from.
We've done all of that. And we make sure that wherever we have our farm settlements, we give our farm settlements priority in terms of rural roads within that local. So if we are doing 15 kilometers within a particular local government, depending. Exactly. We do 10, 15, 18
within the settlement.
Yes. Now it's been expanded from the old RAM that I'm talking about of 2.5 billion to this new RAM that will incorporate other things which I will list for you. They will expand and develop and modernize all the markets along the routes in that village.
Expand and modernize.
Yes. They will establish or repair or renovate existing primary schools everywhere around there.
God.
They will establish, renovate, and build clinics.
It's a real rural transformation.
So it's been translated from 2.5 billion naira for your state. I'm not talking Nigeria, to $18 million today. And we paid our counterpart funding. You can make that the headline of the newspaper.
Oyo has paid $1.8 million.
It's one of the best.
$18 million, not 1.8.
No, the counterpart funding for Oyo.
No. Our counterpart fund has not changed.
It has not changed.
No.
Okay.
No, it has not changed.
Wonderful.
That's real rural transformation.
Anyway, I think
This is the paper on it. If you want to see.
Markets, schools, farms. That will involve some electrification. Of course, electrification will be part of RAM for in some cases.
So, I think we just have to thank the Honorable Commissioner because he decided to give us 20 minutes. We ended up, spending 45 to 50 minutes. I think that is a.
If you want, like I will give you a photocopy. This is a report, but it's a government document.
Yes.
Benefits of this round.
We'll certainly need
over 5 million rural dwellers from 28 agrarian local government will benefit from over 8,000 kilometer rural feeder at the completion of the project. The people begin to reap the benefit from June 2018 when the construction and proper rehabilitation commences. Advantages: reduction of post-harvest losses from 70% to about 20% by 2019, linking farmers to market, farmers having value to their product, improving food security, reduction of transportation costs from an average of 600 to 50 naira per kilometer by 2019, exposing and linking some hidden quarries to the revenue collectors, thereby increasing state IGR. Comparison of Oyo State with other participating states in terms of achievement. Oyo State was among the 18 states selected initially before pre-appraisal meeting held by World Bank throughout the states of the Federation. Oyo State was also successful to be one of the final 13, it was initially 18, final 13 states selected after pre-appraisal meeting by World Bank in October 27. Oyo State has been selected among the 13 that will benefit from the World Bank donation $52 million to each of these selected 13 states for the construction and rehabilitation of over 700 rural roads.
We can't ask for more, but certainly we only have to thank my Honorable Commissioner for this eye-opening, interview, and I want to believe that impromptu. So we have to give it to him that we got him impromptuly, and he has delivered. No wonder His Excellency Governor Nigeria, he saw something very unique in him, and that is why we are lucky that he was able to flow beyond our expectation. So this might be the first visa, because when this is posted on our site, we know a lot of people will ask questions. I will come back for the second chapter from the Honorable Commissioner. So on behalf of you that are watching and probably reading this, we thank the Honorable Commissioner. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.